All right, so we recorded now, I think, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, welcome back to Super Kingdom Hearts V0.0 Final Mix HD featuring Dante. Uh, so, when last we left our heroes, uh, they had basically, we did Session Zero stuff. We all met together and they all joined up with a group known as the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, aka the deepest Disney cut I could possibly make. Um, from there, they were sent on a mission where they were going off to a strange world, uh, a strange world that had sentient animals. And we, off recording, had a small retcon where Common Rider Decade's persona is now a bat. Um,
Okay, I'm done with your QC costume now.
My what?
QC. You know, it's the mammal with the leathery wings.
All right.
Cultural confusion.
that's a good one. Yeah. So you have made your way to the gummy ship, flown off. Now, here's one thing I'm actually doing different from normal mainline Kingdom Hearts. Instead of just teleporting down, you need to park it. So, as your gummy ship approaches, it's little chibi big city. What you see in a Kingdom Hearts game when you approach a world. And then you fly closer and closer, and suddenly it changes. There's a big wide world with a big city. You can see some farmland on the edges. The big city is divided into there's an Arctic area, there's a desert area, there's a jungle area. All these different areas with a big downtown area in the center. Like I said, the farmland on the outside. Where are you guys going to park your gummy ship?
Fucking gummy ship.
Fu just shakes her head and says, "Failed driving."
I don't believe I'm licensed to fly a waves arm. This.
I mean, Tsukatsu will drive.
I don't know what your guys' problem is. Flying's super easy.
I mean,
Fu holds out a hand to the controls of the gummy ship. As if to indicate, go ahead, park us.
Look, if a 12-year-old boy can do it in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yes, but Navi is the size of a tennis ball.
There.
Just whacking herself into various parts of the machinery, hoping it lands.
Okay. So, Tsukasa and or Navi, whoever is, where would you like to park the ship?
We're gonna let Tsukasa do this because, being able to touch the pedals and the wheel at the same time might be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess ideally we been told about the world order stuff where we're not supposed to let people know about the other worlds, or is that not a thing in this version of the setting?
In this version of the game, I'm halfway saying screw that.
I actually like it better though.
But there was that man who was bald who was talking about a prime directive.
I'd like to imagine
in the black and red clothing.
I'd like to imagine we had to sit through a bunch of training videos en route to here. Really condescending 1950s style. Now, if you were to talk to someone from a world who is not aware of the darkness, then you would cause a bit of a howdy-do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. So like, here's the thing: you're basically told to like at least halfway keep it on the down low, because once again, you were recruited from other worlds. Uh, like so
Technically, Tsukasa was recruited from space, but
recruited from space. But yeah, basically the kind of the rule. On the one hand, there's always that sort of Kingdom Hearts, like nobody cares when they see a thing on the land. Um, it's like, wow, there's a talking dog and a talking duck and a child wearing a lot of zippers in the middle of feudal China here in Mulan Land, and nobody cares. So, like, kind of the same logic mostly.
Kind of
But I guess all
Doctor Who hand wavy sort of. People just don't see what they don't think is real.
Yeah. That being said, I will say you have been given like a little bit of authorization to like if there's someone you think would be a good agent of the SEA, you can recruit them. They'll probably be auxiliary and mostly be spending their time on their world. But if there's someone you think is worthy and good to travel and all this sort of stuff, you have been given that authority on some level. But otherwise, there's that people don't want to see. Nobody's going to be too skeptical about it.
Okay.
Sukasa, do you see any places to land like a what did they call it? An airport?
I mean, yeah. Is there an airport? Is there an airport we can land in?
You know what?
Let's disguise our gummy ship as a plane.
An obnoxiously colored plane.
Well, I mean, we can disguise ourselves, so like, why not being able to like glamour a paint job?
Oh, you know what? Sure. You. That being said, so yeah, you start flying in, you start heading towards the airport, and then suddenly over the console, there's no. Unknown vessel. This is power control.
Shit, I was wondering if I should have said something about that.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to roll convince someone, since you're in the pilot seat, John.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up the moves to which one is convince someone.
Heart.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not good at that. Okay.
I was gonna say, if you want, I could do it. I have heart at +2 apparently.
I got a 8. So,
For NPCs, they'll do it, but need some clear assurance or evidence first. I'll say they're like, all right, go ahead. We have a clear 2. Pull into hangar 11 once you get down. We're gonna need to do some inspections. You were not on the flight plan.
yep, sure thing. We hangar 11 going in.
Wow, this is working out so well for us.
Impressive.
Quick question. Just as we are now within not just airspace, but their reality, have we turned into animals?
I mean, you're wearing your fursuit, so you couldn't really tell.
Oh man, I was hoping.
Oh, so we're not even having that as like anatomy changes.
Oh, I mean, like, no, sure, you're turning into animals, but you're wearing your fursuits over it, so
Oh
it's
my
really
god! The TSA agents just see a bunch of animals stumble out, tear off their own skin for an identical version of them to come out from underneath.
Okay, here's a question. Are we also like not actually the ones that we got the costumes of?
No, you're the one.
If a different animal would actually fit the character better.
I mean, like, I wasn't going to force one on you. That's why I was specifically going to ask, and then Ed asked first, and I was just going to run with it.
It's 'cause they're, like,
Except
See,
no, here's how we get the
was-
retcon in. Here's how we get the retcon in. There's just a grasshopper that just molts into a bat, and it's terrifying.
Because Fu actually would be a porcupine. She would just never call herself that.
Okay.
She would, if asked, what animal would you like to be? She'd say she would in fact say something badass like a snow leopard.
Okay.
Oh, God.
But in actuality, she'd be a porcupine.
Zootopia's
So-
version of David Cronenberg just sees that and goes, yes.
It's like The Fly, but in reverse. Okay, so yeah, you guys land on the tarmac and pull into the hangar. You see labeled 11, and you feel your body shift for a moment. And what we just described happens, except Tsukasa, after you realized, unlike everybody else, you're in different clothing.
Oh, well, what am I dressed as?
You're wearing like a leather jacket, and for some reason you have a wallet chain, and you like dig around in your coat or whatever because you're kind of freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
You find you have that say a couple of business cards say Tsukasa Kadoya, private investigator.
Okay. I mean, he's not freaking out, which is probably weirder for everyone else. Is that he takes this completely in stride. I guess this is the role this world has for me.
Porcupine. She just says, angry. Bad humor.
I mean, you did it to yourself, surely.
Her quills bristle.
Says the 6 foot tall.
Just
Says the 6 foot tall badger. With half his face obscured by a weirdly angled helmet. Oh, I don't know what I prefer more, whether or not he's got a helmet that matches the shape of his head, or if he's got a really awkward human-shaped helmet stuck on the top of his head like a fucking beret.
I want to go with the first, but the second is so good too.
Yeah, he's probably just got his... He's wearing a fez. Yeah, he just pats his head for a second, then scowls.
So you pull it, and you stepped out of the gummy ship, I assume.
Yep.
Okay. And I was sitting there. Suddenly,
Oh man, I am just thinking about Navi maybe not being a hummingbird after all, and just molting and being a firefly, insectile.
interesting. How the alternatives work. But yeah, so at that point, some beaver walks in with like a checklist and like, oh, okay, you guys came in, huh?
yes.
Yes, we have.
Disconcerting circumstances.
All right. I'm just gonna need to inspect your ship. Don't worry, just gotta make sure that you aren't doing anything too shady, and starts going over looking at the craft, which you said you somehow glamored it to be
Yeah, like in the same way that we get glamored.
okay. Yeah, so it's kind of inspecting it, and I was like, oh, okay. And you can see that there are a couple of like airport security guards who are there, kind of just keeping an eye from like the just to make sure nothing untoward happens. And as you're all kind of sitting there for a moment, suddenly you notice that the inside of the hangar seems to get a little bit darker. The lights flicker a little bit.
Electrical problems?
Well, that's weird. We haven't had any problems like this. We got backup generators. It's strange. We haven't had any electrical problems in this city for a while.
That
Worth
is weird.
investigating.
My name's Navi. What's your name?
Yeah. My name is Buck.
Hi, Buck.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Well, this is quite a weird ship you got here.
I know. It's called a gummy ship. I
Very
don't know what it's made out
specialized.
of. But it is kind of sweet.
Yeah, pretty cool craft. Just say so myself.
I hear it's modular.
Not for sale.
I wasn't looking to buy it. Don't worry. And as you're talking, suddenly out of the shadows in the back hangar come like a couple of the basic shadow heartless start crawling out of the shadows.
Dredd just kind of pushes, just stands up, moves forward, shoves one of the TSA people out the way, and just shouts, "Get down!" Pulling what I probably imagine has turned into a fucking dart gun in this world from his hip.
Nope. It's still your same gun.
Oh god! Then he pulls out a terrifying-looking lawgiver from his jacket. And I would just like to ask beforehand. So we're in a hangar.
Mm-hmm.
What will happen if I shoot that fuel drum? Because I can take the time to analyze a combat situation before it starts and ask the GM, what will happen if I blank once?
Well, there will be a big action movie explosion. It will probably deal with these heartless pretty well. Not sure about the legal ramifications in this world, though. That being said, I think I'm going to say this. Based on your understanding of your own legal authority on your world.
Mm-hmm. Hey. Also, I'm on vacation. Blam.
Gonna do it?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I feel...
He is the law.
He is the law. I want to say roll push through stress, maybe? Because you're not actually hitting anyone?
Okay, sure. That's great, because that's actually what Blue Eyes Full Hearts Can't Lose is linked to. I have judge field ops training. Something in the fucking manual about this. How to use your environment against your enemy. No, that would only count if I had a lot link, which I'm not going to bother spending because I've got.
You don't want to spend that one, Anderson. It might remember locked links refuel when you that stat. So otherwise, it would probably be push through stress with dark.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. So it'll come back. So how shall I mark it? Basically,
I usually just italicize it, just to say it's spent.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with. This is probably something I taught Anderson at some point. Back when we were in the exploding barrel factory and those guys had the drop on us. I totally missed and accidentally blew something up, but I styled it out.
It's weird that these barrels are always red.
I just like to imagine that Dredd is actually internally like totally unconfident, but just keeps on styling out his mistakes in a way that looks cool. Yeah, I'm the law.
Okay, so because of that, you basically get a free 10 plus, right?
Yes. As a
Okay.
yeah, as if I'd rolled a 10 plus.
Okay. So pick two. I assume you succeed at what you were attempting.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you pick take +1 forward, ask a question about the scene, or gain an advantageous position.
I'm going to gain an advantageous position.
And how would you like to? Do you have any ideas? Because I have an idea what it could be.
Let's see what you've got.
All right. So yeah, so there's a lot of panic because there's just been an explosion.
And this rando
Buck
from a
is
plane, which never manifests, has just pulled a gun. Like all these things.
yeah. Like the TSA guys are free, or the security guards, whatever. They're freaking out. The Buck is freaking out. Whatever your teammates are doing, they're doing whatever. But there's been an explosion, and sure the Heartless are gone, but it's a very tense situation. You'll get your advantageous position in a moment. But yeah, so what are you doing? Like the TSA guys, they start drawing their tasers because they're cartoon world TSA guys. Like, freeze, freeze.
Yeah, Dribble just kind of put the gun up, just raised the gun up in the air in a non-combative way. Dread, International Bureau of Security. Don't think the acronym. Never mind.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, where's your badge then? Identification.
He takes this big chunky badge out, which was on his uniform from inside his jacket, which is just a big gold eagle with Dread emblazoned on it.
I mean, I feel like that's convincing someone.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, roll convince someone then. Yeah, plus heart.
Oh, brilliant! I've got a +2 in that. It's so good I had a 2 in that because that just makes it a 7. Which again feels totally valid for the amount of bullshit I'm doing.
Okay. We're gonna need you to stay here while we call the and you actually hear like police sirens coming up already. And as you come up, and suddenly, big old like police Humvee pulls up. And out of it, jump a little bunny in a police uniform and a fox in a police. They've got tasers drawn and they. It's like, inspect. Officer Hobbs, Officer Fox. What seems to be the issue here? What's going on? And the TSA guys are like, this guy just on caused an explosion in this in this hangar.
Fu approaches. Just kind of motions back behind them in the directions that the Heartless had shown up originally. Just says,
Killer shadows.
Yeah, they both kind of look at each other.
Necessary collateral.
And then the fox kind of looks over to Dread and walks up and says, you got a license for that thing?
Just narrows his eyes for a few seconds. In my other jacket. You're not going to want to take this from me.
Is is that a threat? And then suddenly, like the bunny comes over and says, points to the gold badge you had in your hand. I think this is the judge the inspector was talking.
That, and if you picked it up, the DNA lock would then blow your arm off.
And then the one labeled Nick kind of steps back for a moment and is like, yeah, you can that.
Unintended consequences.
The bunny. Hey, don't worry. If it's like you said, then it's probably a good thing you. Sorry for all the trouble. I'm Zootopia Police Department pulls out a bag.
Local law enforcement. Good.
Mm-hmm. So Sukasa like slides in front of Dredd, hands a business card over. Sukasa, private detective. Think you'll be in need of my services.
Well, if you're the type of people to deal with those things, then I think we might be in need. Could you do you mind coming down to the station with us so we briefed at least? I mean, I know we don't know who you are.
Sure you do. You've got my card right there.
That's
Who just kind of motions at him as if like, yeah.
you bring up a good point.
Can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right,
Sukasa's gonna saunter over to their car and like go sit in there as though waiting for them to drive him somewhere.
At that point, the bunny is, Officer Hobbs is like, all right, trust of the TSA guys. Like, do you think you guys can handle cleanup then? And we're gonna do some talking back at the station. They're like, yes. Yeah, and he's like, and then she's like, yeah, just go ahead and hop in. And Nick just looks very nervous because there's a bunch of there's a well-armed person who's apparently a super. He's like, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Sorry, if I had known you were a judge, I wouldn't have been so forceful. Sorry about that.
It's to be expected. New jurisdiction. Bound to be friction.
Yeah, so we'll take you down to the station.
Yeah, just stakes out hand. Dread. IBS. I'm going to run this joke into the ground. I'm not sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Nick absolutely snickered. Nick Wilde, Zootopia Police Department.
Even Fu laughs at that.
Yeah.
She hasn't laughed at anything this whole time.
But poop jokes, that's what gets through.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a teenager.
We found Fu's level.
Real high quality comedy here.
Yeah, I suppose I was going to say we can't really get in the patrol car, so
Yeah.
I imagine like a paddy wagon.
Yeah,
Or do we
I mean,
commandeer?
it's a big SUV.
Do we
I
commandeer
think.
one of those luggage wagons from the airport to drive that?
I mean, like this was a big car. It was like an SUV, so.
Oh, damn over-militarized police force of Zootopia. You don't need this. Why do you have a military so over-financed that you have the surplus in the fucking civilian police force?
No, I didn't mean like
You
it's
know
not like
what
a hub.
you meant.
It's not a hub. I know what I. No, it's literally it's like
this fucking Zootopia APC.
no like real talk. At the end of the movie, they're in like they're literally in like a big old like it's basically like built for off-roading. It's amazing. Anyway,
I mean, given the geography of Zootopia, that might actually be necessary.
yeah,
I'm just being a shithead. I'm sorry. I'll be
I know.
quiet.
I know. But yeah, so yeah, you could all fit in there, especially considering one of you with this.
Yeah. Fu sits in there and is like, at the first possibility is just asks oh no, because they wouldn't look like she recognizes us, so she can't. Never mind. The first opportunity that she just asks shadow problems.
Yeah, so as you're driving and Judy's driving, Nick starts kind of explaining. Yeah, there's been this new gang in the city. We've nicknamed them the Scourge. Um, the Scourge has been basically we've had disappearances all around. We don't know who they are, what they want. Seem to be able to mix in with the shadows, and because of that, we haven't been able to get a good beat. I was hoping you guys, if you're good at this, you might be able to help us stop them and track them down.
She kind of like points at her or pats herself on the center of the chest and just says, "Shadow hunters."
At that point, Judy's like, "Oh, I gotta get back to the apartment. The new episode of Shadow Hunters is on tonight too." Well, well, I don't know if you guys are new to Zootopia, but welcome to the biggest city on the planet, uh, where predators and prey can live together in harmony. And you're driving, through the city, and finally, you come across, you go through this big, very hot desert area full of sand, and you go past a couple of random stores until finally you reach the big downtown area, Savannah Central, where you pull up to a big Zootopia Police Department building. It's like, well, we're here.
Actually, there is a way she can ask. So I guess she'll wait until they are out of the car and everything.
Mhm. By the way, I want to remind you, you guys can make links at any time. Like that's on you guys. I just want to remind you.
Yeah,
No, that's fine.
yeah.
I
Food's a
have
porcupine for a reason.
I literally do not want to do any link making. This is bad for me.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, I want to make a link with the beaver and these two nice police officers. No, I'll wait.
I mean, if you have anyone you want to make it with, I'm not gonna stop you.
Actually, why not? The fox what was his name again?
Nick Wilde.
Nick Wilde. Reminds her of somebody.
All right. So will that be a heart then?
Yes.
All right.
And
so you're rolling that at a +2 because it's one of your highest stats.
Okay. I get an 8.
All right. So either your link move doesn't trigger, or the link isn't what.
Okay. The link isn't what I expected.
Um. You know what? I'm going to say you kind of get of sure this guy's a cop, but you're a disciplinary member. You know, you are a disciplinary committee member, and on some level, this guy seems kind of shady. So I'm going to say it's going to be a dark link.
Okay.
Because spoilers for the movie, but before he became a cop, he was a con artist.
Oh.
Damn it! Now people aren't going to experience that deep Zootopia lore.
Yeah, the deepest lore that consists of one movie and
a particularly well-received movie that probably isn't going to get a sequel.
that's very unfortunate. It was a good movie.
I mean, unfortunate, but at the same time, nice that it's not being instinctively run into the fucking ground.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's that. That's true.
There's that. And what you said you were going to ask them a question after.
Yeah, she considers asking him, but now feels like he's a little shifty, and he might not give her a clear answer. She'll ask, what's the buddy again?
Hops, Judy Hops.
Yeah. Okay. So she asks Officer Hops, other outsiders?
Other than the inspector, there hasn't been anyone else. Nobody come in or out, really.
Unfortunate.
Are you looking for someone?
Navi's going to look at
She nods.
Fu and then Officer Wilde back and forth. And I'm going to try and form a link as well with Officer Wilde. And I'm going to go with a dark because clearly these local police officers are our rivals in finding and defeating these evil villains.
I hope you get a tip.
I do too, because of reasons.
So, sorry, real quick. Nate, doesn't your link move go off since you chose to...
Oh yeah, it does. I can either change a link's type, heal all harm, or mark additional experience and lose a link. I don't have any harm.
That is a 4 and a 6.
So it's a 10 plus?
Yes. Plus 0 because my dark is 0.
All right. So your link move.
No, I'm not gonna do anything with my link move.
Okay. You both get a link on one another, and you're. So everyone in the party now has a dark.
With Officer Wilde.
With Officer Wilde.
A friend of a friend of a friend.
God damn it.
No, you still have the capacity to change it with your own role, but this happens.
All right then.
There I go, forcing everyone's hand.
Ed's chosen playbook. Friendship is power. Friendship is a weapon.
I was like, how can I make the most evil character possible? I could play the dark, or I could play the friend.
So not only are you on soul level screwing over John slowly but surely.
Yes.
This is not comboing well.
I love this. This is great.
Okay. Well, so Tsukasa is now tired of the small talk, and we'll go over to Well and say, look, we're the experts here. Just show us where all of your evidence is, and we'll fix it for you. I'm establishing boundaries in a personal relationship. I kill this link, and I gain a distance.
You're having way too much fun with this. Okay. Yeah, so you have 2 distance and you lose that link. It's like, hey man, no worries. You're probably going to want to talk to the inspector. She's leading up this task force. I can show you where she is.
Mm-hmm.
And from there you walk in front door where there's a really happy cheetah just waving hello guys. And you walk into a back room, into a small meeting room where there is a big old that's him. Where there's this big old, whiteboard with a map of the city and all these different uh uh let me get a picture of Judy while we're here. Even though so you see along with this information, there is also another officer in the room, a fox. And they turn to you, and in a somewhat thick, like Spanish accent, he says, "Officer, Wild Hops, who are these people?" And Dick's like, "Apparently, there's some out of town investigators here to help with the whole scourge thing." And then she stops, looks right at Judge Dredd, and says, "I didn't expect them to bring a judge in here."
No one ever expects the IBS.
She looks very confused for a moment. And then walks up and offers Carmelita Fox, Interpol.
Ah, good to meet you. Shakes hand.
So you all are here for the whole scourge thing.
Yes, we had a welcoming party when we arrived.
Oh, where was that?
Shortly after arriving in the hangar. 3 contacts. Dealt with them. eyes, Judy and Nick might have overreacted slightly.
Yeah, she turns and like pulls out like another, grabs a pen off the board and puts it on the map on the
Airport.
airport, and it's like, that's weird. It seems. I mean, there hasn't been much of a pattern, but the airport's really out of the way.
So you've been charting where these have been emerging?
Yes. There have been disappearances all over, and we can't seem to really connect them. There's been like 4 or 5 we can't seem to really connect them, and she has the papers out on the table if you want to look at them.
Yeah, I think I'll give that a deep dive.
All right,
I'm not good at that, but
roll for it.
Nope, I failed.
All right. On a miss, the GM tells you something that it wasn't true. Okay, I'll hold on to that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, there's the files are on the table.
Sorry. You're supposed to tell me something I wish wasn't true.
Yeah. No. We'll. I'll put a pin. Like I said, I'll put a pin in that. Coming up. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. So. They've been all over the city, and I haven't been able to make heads or tails of it yet. Do you guys think you have anything?
Fu does not answer because she doesn't actually have anything. She's going to rely on someone else in this one.
Does Tsukasa think he has something?
You actually have no idea. For a moment, you're thinking about like, well, maybe they were taken into other worlds, like when Natsumi was sucked away from me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, that's a bit much, so probably not.
Hmm.
Any other offers to deep dive?
You know what? Navi will deep dive as well.
All right.
Let's see, 6 plus. Looking at my. See, that is heart. Going to be a 7.
All right. So that's going to be one question. What
Mhm.
here could I use to blank? What here is not as it seems? What is the best way out of the situation? What is the biggest threat here? What was done here recently?
I'm gonna go with what here is not as it seems.
All right. So you actually take a look at profiles of the people who were kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize that you're thinking about it, and then you get all the locations, and then you look up at the map, and you look down, look up, and finally you actually just grab a marker in your tiny firefly hummingbird hand.
It's more of all of a sudden there is a marker above her head and her hands are up.
Yeah. And you start drawing circles, and you realize that this isn't like big smattering of things. You realize that there are 3 locations on the map where there are it's almost like there are 3 epicenters separately as opposed to one giant epicenter.
Hey, listen! There's multiple epicenters, guys!
Fu just corks a brow.
What are the 3 epicenters like? What areas are they specifically?
There are actually, you see that they are near on the like you look at that, and then you look at like a industrial city map, like of all the infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize that there are basically subway access, like for maintenance and stuff, on each of the epicenters.
I don't know what a subway is, but they're coming from the subways.
Underground train.
Oh,
Oh,
why don't they just call it an underground train?
She shrugs.
yeah. I thought that was sandwiches. Never mind.
So Tsukasa will take a snapshot of the picture. Do I discover the hidden Mickey?
Uh,
You said there were
Yes.
3 circles.
Yes, you discovered the hidden Mickey.
damn it. I hadn't even thought of it. Now, Fu does actually take a picture of this for, narrative reasons, which is a thing I continuously forget to mention. However she appears, she has a camera and camera strap around her neck, just kind of like dangling there.
Just like
Fu's-
Tsukasa.
Oh god, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that was one of the like the other details about her in Kingdom Hearts 2 is that she takes all the photos for the uh, disciplinary committee.
All right.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna try and take a better photo than Tsukasa.
You're gonna push through stress.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna warn you, it's not hard to take a better picture. His one of his things is he literally cannot take pictures of anything except for his own world.
It literally messes up the pictures, and they come out super artistic but weird, depending on who you're talking to.
Okay.
And that's gonna push your stress.
All right.
I want to say mastery, so it'll be at a +2.
Well, I failed.
Oh,
I did not take a better picture than him.
so you completely failed your roll.
Yeah.
All right. So, by the way, if you fail your roll, gain your experience. Get that.
Oh, that's right.
And by the way, I believe you made a. Is dark one of the low ones on the friend? I forget. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, never mind. So everybody's good with experience, I think. So Carmelita's like, okay, so we have 3 spots. I think we should split up and go into groups. And before you can finish, suddenly there's a knock at the door, and the cheetah from earlier pokes his head in and says, "Excuse me, is there a Tsukasa Kadoya here?"
Right here.
Yeah, there's someone who wants to talk with you in one of the interrogation rooms.
All right. He will straighten his leather jacket, turn to the other. Sorry, duty calls. Saunter out of the room.
Yeah. You leave and you head down to interrogation room 3, right down there. And, you go into the room, and it's empty.
Mm.
The table and 2 chairs are there.
Tsukasa will look around, look under the table.
There's nobody there.
He will turn around to leave, I guess.
As you start turning to leave, you find yourself encountering a weird white wall like you saw, and suddenly it rushes towards you and goes past you. And things seem different, and you look down for a moment. You are human.
All right.
And there's a voice behind you. Decade.
Tsukasa will turn around.
And behind you, there is a man. You know, in the weird like fisherman's hat and the tan trench coat and the glasses. And fully human as well. So you have begun to travel the world.
I mean, I'm not alone, but why? Who are you?
I am Narutaki. And I know that you should stop traveling. All you're doing is leading these worlds to darkness. You are a destroyer of worlds.
Well, unfortunately, I have a job to do. So, I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon.
You should listen to my warning. Otherwise, the darkness will consume you and the worlds you visit.
Well, then I'll just have to destroy the darkness too.
If you think you can. And then the wall comes back, fades past him, he disappears, goes through you, and you are a bat.
Huh. Alright. I guess Tsukasa just leaves the interrogation room, heads back to the others. Looks around for the person who sent him there, because that was weird.
Meanwhile, back in the meeting room, there's this very happy, kind of chubby cheetah who's there just like super happy to talk to you guys and is very happy to meet new people. Is talking about his new app on his phone that he really likes and is just, super happy to meet all of you. It's like, oh, you guys are on the Scourge Squad? Oh, and a Scourge Squad. It's so cool. It sounds like it should be a TV show. He doesn't shut up.
Yeah. The problem is that Dread's most preferred way of doing this is not going to work here. Which is headbutt him and slap him with the citation order for public disturbance. So he's just going to sit there and scowl increasingly.
But why are the pictures on this moving? Does anyone else have one of these phones? Am I the only one who doesn't have one of these?
Judy's like, I have pulled out a flip phone. I have this, not as fancy as those guys, but...
You mean it can open and close? And there's buttons on this one! The other one doesn't have buttons!
Joe just looks at Navi for a second and goes, do you not have hinges in your world?
I mean, for doors, but...
And chests, but... Lots of chests.
So many chests.
Actually, half the doors in Legend of Zelda don't actually have hinges. They just slide up.
That's very true.
Johnny, are you new a fan?
Ah, yes. Sorry, I will move away from the fan.
Sorry. Thanks.
Alright. Has Tsukasa returned at this point?
Yes, Tsukasa returns.
Alright,
Unless anybody else wants to do anything important.
I'm going to be making friends with this cheetah.
Oh
Okay.
no.
It's okay. It's only if anybody else has it.
It's a heart friendship.
You're gonna go for heart?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Friendships are light.
Oh,
Heart
are they
is
like...
they make you think about things.
Okay, yeah, it'll be light then. Link with this.
So take a free experience.
Yep, because this is my worst stat.
Yeah.
And I just dropped that die.
Oh,
Let's try
no.
this. Reroll that one. That is 5 and a 5. 10 minus 1, I want to say, because it's my weak stat. So that's a 9.
So you get an experience, and your link move doesn't matter, so you're just going to get the link.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a light link with Clawhauser.
And is that spelled Clawhauser?
Yes.
Clawhauser? Okay. Fair enough. As I have made a friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will note Tsukasa pointedly does not talk about the strange encounter he had with a man in a tan hat.
That's gonna... Yeah, Jed probably does ask. So, how's the interrogation?
I think they had the wrong person or wrong room. There was no one in there.
They came to this room specifically and asked for you by name and got the wrong person for the wrong room.
Tsukasa just shrugs.
To be fair, he then looks over at Clawhauser, shrugs. Very well, so multiple locations, multiple missing. Officer Wild, was it?
The fox. Yeah, the male fox. Yeah, Officer Wild.
Seems like an idea to form teams, sweep these areas.
All right, so we got 3 spots. We got four of you. We've got me, Judy. We got 7. I could probably round up 2 more officers if you want to make it groups of 3.
Don't we also have the Interpol agent?
That was the 7.
Yeah.
You 4 plus the 2 plus Carmelita Fox.
Unless you
Oh,
want Clawhauser to come with us instead.
No, not really.
I mean, portable cover at the very least.
Officer Clawhauser needs to get out into the field.
By the way, Nate, if you said anything, you've been muted. I didn't see a BRB, so.
Oh no, I haven't been saying that.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of foo.
Yeah,
Fair.
she's been
Until something needs punching. Well, all right then. If you want to start finding 2 other recruits, start drawing up a plan of attack.
Okay. So I have some drafted ideas for who these groups should be, plus the 2 other recruits. Basically, do you guys want to do two players, with each with 1 NPC, then a group of 3 NPCs? Do you want to do 2-1-1?
I think if we keep the players to like the smallest amount of groups, that's probably not a bad idea. So a couple of two groups with 1 NPC apiece, and then a third group who is most likely going to meet a terrible, terrible fate or require rescuing.
All
yeah,
right.
that works.
We'll call them Team Red Shirt.
Team, I thought you meant Team Richard there for a second. I was like, that's unfair. Richard is a very capable player. How bloody dare you?
Well, Richard was going to play a police officer. 4 is connected.
Fair enough.
Team Red Shirt it is.
Okay, so who wants to be the pairs?
If Tsukasa has any say in things, it'll be him and Fu, and then Dread and Navi on 2 separate teams.
To be fair, Dread feels like he's probably better off looking after Navi and lets the 2 punks deal with deal with each other. I just like to think that I just like to think that you suggest that, and then Dread is like, yeah, that's fine. And it's just like, oh shit, he's okay with it.
No, that's great because the Cade's thing is that he doesn't. Is that the only person he has a moderately positive relationship with is Fu.
It's true.
Damn it, that NPC is going to be there as a fucking chaperone. Oh,
All right, so and then I'm just going to list like the 3 people you can take who are on the other teams, or the NPCs you can take with you.
And this is where we find out that Tyler has done some. Holy shit! The Chief's coming with us.
This is like a gang that is kidnapping people, and there are Plus, he's the only other like named cop.
Oh, I know. I fully appreciate that. Just the chief of police is like, I'm leading from the front on this shit. And like, okay, cool.
Although, Luke, you know who we have to take.
Oh god damn it, we are, aren't we? Okay. All I'm saying is I'm getting him to do interval sprint training while we're getting there.
He's gonna get his steps in and cut down.
Hell yes.
Okay. Really quick, can I tell you what happened in my other game?
Tell me.
In the other game, one of the players who's also a friend wanted to be friends with Clawhauser because they were driving there and Clawhauser was driving. But because it's Clawhauser, he like turned off the police scanner and was like chatting up, not paying attention to the road, was like dancing to the music. And the botched roll, I gave them a mastery link, and it was like, clearly this guy is so confident he doesn't have to pay attention to the road, he doesn't have to pay attention to the radio. He is the best police officer.
Amazing.
But yeah, so it sounds like group 1 is Navi, Dread, and Clawhauser.
Mm-hmm.
Group 2, Fu, Decade, and
I honestly don't care. What do you want?
Gonna say well, the only one that I have a link with is Nick.
you can use this as an opportunity to gain other links.
Besides, don't you have a rivalry with him?
That's true, yeah. Judy then.
All right.
Officer Hop.
So group 3 is Carmelita, Nick, and perfect. All right. So, there's a bit of a discussion.
Yes, Nick with his immediate superior and also the international police officer. Clearly, he is the most trusted of the other officers.
Nick's internal grifter is just screaming right now.
It's like Team Red Shirt with 2 of the most competent characters in the show.
They're gonna get wharfed so fucking hard. It's going to be amazing.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So we're going to start with Group 1 really quick. Group 1, Navi, Dread, and Clawhouse. So there are 3 spots. There's one in the main downtown area. There's one in the jungle area, like just on the border. Which of those 3 would you like to go to?
I missed the second one. I'm not entirely sure
So
if
did
anyone
I.
else did. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So I'm not the only one who's
So
having
so-
cutouts.
Yeah, first one was Metropolitan. Second one I imagine was probably Ice.
Yeah, the Arctic area.
Yeah, Arctic area. I mean, Dread would be most comfortable sweeping a metropolitan area, to be honest. But
So that's the
Navi-
one we're going to go with?
Well, I don't know.
Alright.
Navi is pretty I'm also thinking Clawhouse is probably not going to enjoy tropical or... I mean, okay, he's intended for a jungle environment. His body type works in an Arctic environment. He's actually fantastically adaptable. God damn it, he's metagaming.
Beautiful.
You glorious chunky, you.
So, Luke, which one do you want us to go to?
Fuck it, we'll do the Arctic.
All right.
Let's chill out here.
So you all end up going into another, patrol car, and Clawhauser's driving because he knows the city. And he is very happy to chat with you guys. Driving along, it's like, I don't really do field work. They have me as the I'm so friendly. They have me as the face at the front desk. So I'm not going to complain. I like talking with people when they come in. And, just keeps chatting until finally you reach the
So, what's the housing like inside of the city for extra small people like me?
well, I forget. Are you a hummingbird or
Uh, Firefly, I thought.
firefly?
Currently, Navi actually went with the insect as she changed within her costume, and she was kind of smaller, if that's possible,
Okay.
to be
Oh,
a firefly.
all
So
right.
she's just a little firefly with a thorax that's lit.
Shit's lit, yo.
Well, we do have a housing area for a lot of avians. You might be able to find something there. We're very good at housing based on size. There's actually an entire little district for mice, rats, other you know, other rodents. It's a really nice part of town, actually. Uh, Judy's actually got some friends over there. She's some kid's godmother. It's actually um I could take you over there once we're done. It might be pretty fun. And just keeps on rambling, talking about housing and the nice parts of town that he really likes, which is every part of town.
He knows absolutely positively everywhere you could get some baklava.
No, he probably does.
I was going to say, because you can't change a link, can you?
You can actually.
Because I feel like I would like to try and change this link, because having... Actually, no, I don't have... I've got a dot with John. Yeah, you know what? I'll try and make a link with Clawhauser.
All right.
Although Dredd is trying to repress the remembering that like 40% of rookies don't survive their first day in Mega City 1, so I'm not so sure what would happen with Clawhauser.
Is this going to be a mastery link, or are you going to look at him and just see an apprentice who needs your help?
I see raw potential. A lot of raw potential. My god,
All
so
right.
much raw potential.
Roll it. Roll that plus mastery.
That's a 9.
All right. So either your link move doesn't go up, or you get your. You probably just get your link. Your link move is very specific, and I think you understand, admire. I think you understand your mastery. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you now have a mastery link with Clawhauser.
Nice.
Anyways, you pull into the Arctic area. There is a little subway stop. And it's just a couple fenced-in utility door. There's nothing. There's nothing too complex guarding it except for a chain around a fence gate, and then the actual door, which might be locked.
Yeah, kind of steps out. Probably, I imagine if they've taken this vehicle down to the Arctic section, it's probably like thick coats they're wearing.
Oh, probably yes.
Yeah, that just okay. Clawhauser. When was the last time you breached location?
Well, there was that time where I accidentally kicked in my friend's door when we were trying to unlock his door for a surprise party so we could sneak in. I paid for the damages, though. It's okay, but
just stack up behind me.
This doesn't look as bad as the time we broke into Ganon's castle.
Oh, that sounds like a interesting story. I'd like to hear that sometime.
And Dred just tries to ignore the fact that that the two people on the team have just both admitted to B and E. Yeah, so chain on the front,
Yeah, just chain on the gate. Yeah.
chain on the gate. Um, I mean, probably shouldn't just smash it. Trying to see what I would actually do for that.
Can Navi just fly through the gate?
I was gonna say,
Like,
could I flavor cast magic as using sophisticated judge gear?
Oh yeah, no, that's real talk. That's what Carmen Sandiego is doing at the end. So
Oh, so like gadget bullshit.
yeah.
Fair enough. In which case, Dredd pulls out one of his judge issue multi tools and gets to work unlocking the padlock. So plus mastery. Oh shit! Yeah, that's a 10.
The magic opens something.
Mm-hmm.
The magic has no unintended consequences.
And I would say it also bypasses defenses in case there is an alarm or anything.
Okay, so yeah, no, you actually do quick work through the first door, and then you get through the gate, and then you get through the second door. Pretty quick and easy. You open the door, and there it's like a all industrial hallway lined with brick and piping, and that's where the subway tunnels are.
Yeah, with that he'll just draw his lawgiver, have it pointed down. Go, okay. Navi,
yeah.
how much illumination can you produce?
Elimination? Illumination. Oh, let me try. And I'm gonna roll for magic.
Do it.
That is a 3. And let's see, my mastery is
It's got to be like a 4 to get some.
+1, so that would be a 4.
Do you want to spend a link?
No, I do not. Navi actually dims.
Yeah, mark your experience.
Nope, I didn't bring my lantern.
It suppresses the urge to shake Navi like a glow stick for a second.
Clawhauser is like, "Don't worry, I got this." He pulls out a police issue mag light.
Oh, I was gonna say, does he just turn on the light on his phone?
That's exactly what I was thinking, but I appreciate that he did something competent.
I was tempted, but I went against it.
Okay. Yeah, in which case, Dredd will take point and lead them down into the subway tunnels.
All right, so this is basically a little side hallway right next to the subway tunnels. There's actually just a fence between you and subway lines. You know, like at one point there does a subway does come screaming by.
A whole subway comes, so you can buy one of those automated on rail sandwich restaurants.
Yes, exactly.
I'll go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just the train comes by, and but you're basically in this, somewhat dark hallway, and finally you come across another door.
Yeah, fair enough. Is this kind of like the end of the corridor?
Yes, it's like you reach in the corridor. There's a gate going onto the tracks.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, and then there's a door on the other side.
Okay.
The door goes somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Dredd will just will stack up on one side, motion for Clawhauser to stack up on the other, and then breach it.
Clawhauser does it with his flashlight, and then you breach the door. It opens, and let me double check what room I sent you to.
And how many harm do we take?
IPS! Hands up!
Free. Oh god. Thank you, Ed. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
I'm glad I could share this IBS with someone. Really spread it around.
Just everywhere.
Please stop. Please. For my own sakes.
Fucking
Please.
children. Oh god.
Oh.
All right, so you find what looks like some sort of lab.
Yeah, just
Aren't these underground train stations for transporting people?
yes.
Yeah,
Then why is there an
This-
alchemist's workshop here?
Yeah, this is like some back, like what would be like a room where, like, you know, the electricians and all that stuff works for the city.
Yeah. We're not saying meth lab, but no naked flames in here.
Yeah, you
Hauser,
see.
you seen anything like this before?
Nope. Well, I did actually back in high school. I had to take chemistry, and there was a lab like this, but it was a lot cleaner. And I had to try really hard in that class. I'm actually very bad at the sciences. I was really good at drama. I was actually in drama club. Um,
Oh, he would be in drama club.
yeah. I played Model the Tailor in Fiddler by the Roof.
Fiddler by the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof. Sorry. Ugh.
I was going to say, was the people doing the set design not quite up to the task? It was like, it's Fiddler near the roof? We don't trust anyone getting on that. Otherwise it'd be Fiddler through the roof, and that would end badly. If I want an itch more!
I was Model the Tailor in Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh god, okay, I'd like to deep dive at this Disney-approved meth lab.
I'm gonna deep dive too.
Fucking hell.
I didn't know I wanted this adventure, but I want this adventure.
this noir fucking police procedural set in Zootopia. Oh. How did you do, Ed?
I got a 7, and then it's heart, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's an 8.
I got a 9, so basically the same.
Both of you can ask one question.
What here is the biggest threat? Is it chemicals near a Bunsen burner? Because I feel like it's chemicals near a Bunsen burner.
It's that Claymore mine we set off the pressure trigger. We standard on the pressure trigger for.
Okay, then. So there are actually two things that you see. One is some weird, like, clay thing. But, like, there's a small corner where someone else is making, there's, like, some weird blue paste.
A clay thing and some weird blue paste.
Yeah, there's, like, a bunch of clay and some electronics
Oh god.
on one part.
Oh fuck.
And then there's...
Oh fuck you. Okay, I'm just gonna go with what was done here recently.
Yeah, you being an actual cop, you realize that, yeah, no, this was, they're setting up for something big. Whoever this is, whatever this is. Yeah, so you know these are explosives. You don't know
Yeah.
what that blue stuff is.
To be fair, like everything else takes secondary points to the fucking explosives. Yeah, there was just like a moment as Dread tenses, then just goes, shit. Clawhauser, back out of the room, slowly.
Okay. Just turns and walks off, not caring about your caution.
Oh Christ.
Should we be worried that
Okay, let me
does not know what syntax is?
Yeah. Let me rephrase. The electronics are like just parts right now, like they were making C4 or whatever. This is not a bomb that's hooked up.
Oh, I
but
know, I
still.
know. This is general police procedure. If you see explosive,
Yeah.
assume it's armed.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to do some real nasty stuff, blowing up a subway tunnel would be a very effective way of doing it.
True.
So yeah, Dredd is going to very carefully take a head over and take a sample of the blue paste.
All right.
Like some scrapings if there's not like a proper measure of it.
He's just kind of floating over your head, looking around to make sure there's nothing flashing.
Yeah, I suppose yeah, Dredd does just to us. If you see any like very thin wires in the way of things, or anything flashing, tell me.
Yeah, nothing seems to happen. You get your blue paste, whatever it is. And...
Minty. No. Don't lick it.
Do it.
Stop it. He's of all the characters, he is the least likely to lick the random blue paste he found in a drug den full of explosives. He'd at least give that to the rookie.
Although Navi does grab a small bottle from her satchel and just has blue paste.
Perfect.
And he'll like, are we when we say like this kind of clay type substance, like how much of it is there still?
At this point, it's mostly just like not entirely residue, but like they were cleaning up shop quickly and just left like a couple like when you're trying to clean up Play-Doh and there's
Oh, so we're
leave a
talking
couple
like
things
just
stuck on it.
like a thin residue of it, not like a lump.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say, don't give me the opportunity to have more explosives on my person. You know I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, I will say
It's not
I will say he scratches up a sample of that as well, just so they can work out precisely what that was.
Bring it back to the lab. Perfect.
They don't make bricks down underground. This is weird.
This is not regular clay. This is explosive.
Oh. Like
But
a bomb chew?
I'm gonna go with yes, but I have no idea what that is. Either way, it looks like they were making some kind of explosive device as well as Waggle's blue stuff in a jar. Whatever this is. Whatever it is, it can't be good. Yeah, they'll step back outside. Clawhauser, can you call us in?
Sure. I might have to step outside for walkie-talkie reception.
Yeah, we'll have to get to the surface.
Yeah, just let me. I'm gonna call it in. And he runs outside, and calls it in. And are you waiting in that room? Or are you waiting in the hall?
Probably go back with him as well. I mean, like, there's only one way in, and we've secured it on the way down.
Yeah, so basically you're just gonna chill, say it's all until bomb disposal or whatever clears it or whatever. All right. In that case, we'll say they clear it. You don't find anything else. When we cut to group number 2 to close off the night.
So, I just imagine that when Navi picked up the item.
You're not wrong.
Perfect. All right. So now we have Decade, Fu, and Judy.
Destination?
We're the closest one would probably be the one in the urban area, right? Because that's where the police station is.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to that one.
In that case, really quick, odds or evens?
Evens.
All right. So Judy once again is driving with you guys. Judy is very focused, unlike Clawhauser. You know, it's like it's going to be given directions to you, even though it doesn't really matter because she's driving. Um, she's taking it the most serious. You assume because you're not in group 3, but you keep on driving, and finally you come to not like a few blocks away. There's another very similar entrance, chain link fence with a gate that is chained off, and a door on the other side.
Sukasa will turn to Judy. Do we have the key for that?
Actually, yes, we do. And has a very large city keyring, and goes forward and unlocks the gate and goes forward and unlocks the utility door, and which she's very careful about it. Slowly glances inside, see there's no threats. That's a good question. Did Clawhauser have a key? Anyways,
The better question is, did Clawhauser know he had a key?
Did
Also-
he care that he had one?
if he knew, he would probably care. If he knew, he would probably care. Anyways, yeah. So she's like, hallway looks clear. Has her own taser out and is ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna let her take point? Sounds like
she's the police officer here,
fair.
who is essentially unarmed.
Yeah. So basically,
I'm not actually sure if Decay's weapons work when he's not transformed. So
the thing is that the card case is also a gun, which is a weird thing,
yeah.
and also his sword.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good question.
Decay appears unarmed for the most part.
So you walk down this hallway. It's once again, it's very similar. A couple of pipes bricking. There's a fence that leads out into the subway proper. You get to the end of the hallway. There's entrance to the subway proper, and there's a side door.
What's in the side door?
You gonna open it up then? All right. You go through, and unlike the drug lab that the others found, you find a room covered in art.
Which kind of raises her eyebrows.
It's
like,
not
covered in which way?
like you saw some graffiti art coming in here, stuff like that. In here, it's like painted murals.
Huh.
The food takes a picture.
You take a picture. The murals there are a couple of them. There are mostly it seems to be of these rodents, mice, rats, something. Weird ones too, because like you've noticed that the creatures in Zootopia are mostly proportional. Outside of like you guys and Carmelita, these look like human-sized rats just destroying things, just raiding castles, attacking other animals. And there are a couple of like books and papers scattered. Some of which have key item, little blinking hovering over. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. She's curious now. So, after taking a picture of the murals, she will camera hang around her neck again, and will go to. You said there are books set out.
Yeah, like on the floor, you can see a couple of like full books and a couple of scattered papers.
She picks up some of the scattered papers. What sort of information can she glean from them?
Most of them seemed like ripped out pages, but there is one that looks very different. Let me get it up for you. That's it. You find this document. You can read it aloud if you want, so we're not sitting in awkward silence.
Okay.
But basically, spoiler alert, this is our Nort report.
Let's see. The world is strange today. The castle seems cold and the shadows seem to grow longer. I do not know why it has become like this, but I cannot let it get to me. It is my job to be the happy one here. And if the king can see how unsettled I am, then they'll be just as troubled as I am, if not worse. Either way, I can see it on the horizon. Today is the day that something changes. I'll be extra sure that I'm keeping these entries written. Hopefully, someone will find them useful in the future.
Yeah, so that is Vizier's Diary 1. Like I said, this is our leaning into metaplot Nort reports.
Yeah, she looks at it and squints, and then Tsukasa.
Yeah.
Strange diary.
She hands it to him.
Yeah, he'll give it a once over. Then he'll turn to Judy. There wouldn't happen to be any castles anywhere in Zootopia, would there?
I mean, no, actually, there's the city's fairly modern. There's
Kings or queens?
nothing like that. I mean, Gazelle's the queen of pop, if that's what you want to go with.
She shakes her head.
No actual royalty.
Then I don't think this has anything to do with the current problem.
Let's keep searching this room then. We might find something.
Sorry, you said there was something else in here? A book, maybe?
Yeah,
Or
there
is
were
this-
a couple. There were a couple of books scattered around too.
Okay. Then Sugasa will pick up a book and look at it.
It's a history book, actually. It seems to be History of Zootopia. You're kind of looking around, you see the other books are all kind of history books of various places, mostly relating to Zootopia. There's one that looks older, a little different, called a History of Mossflower. But
Fu asks to Judy, Mossflower? And then motions to the book.
Doesn't mean anything to me. Not ringing a bell.
Tsukasa will skim through it since it seems to be out of place amongst the other books.
There seems to be some various stories, and it is also of animals, so it might not be entirely out of place. But tells the place of a region known as Mossflower and the conflicts it got involved to, and the heroes that defended an abbey in the middle of the forest.
Okay.
And the evil rats that tried to take it over.
Hmm. He'll skim the history of Zootopia pages, looking for anything like that looks like a note from somebody else specifically.
You don't see anything too particularly special. It just seems to legitimately be being studied. You realize this book may have been stolen from the public library.
Hmm.
Unacceptable. Needs returned.
Well, maybe we can see if the library has any idea who might have taken these. If it's connected at all. This seems a little out of place. There's no mention. I checked the murals again. Is there like anything heartless-y looking?
There are hints of it. You can see some little something's like off in the darkness.
Hmm.
But that's about it.
All right.
Seems relevant.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd for a gang. Like most street gangs don't have full on murals like this. What is the
He's an
scourge?
artist.
What is the scourge doing stealing history books?
Maybe they're less of a gang and more of a cult.
She looks genuinely worried at that prospect. We should go call this in.
Mm-hmm.
And you step out and get in the horn. You of course hear that Team 1 has found explosives, and then there's a call from Team 3 saying, "I think we know what this is leading towards. I know where they're going to strike next, and that's where we're going to end."
All right.
All right then.
All right, so you guys have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Any guesses as to what's going to happen next? Any guesses as to who the villain is?
I don't have a villain in mind, but I'm gonna guess that that it's going to be a bomb using the stuff from the movie in the rodent part of town.
Oh god, they're gonna create a freaking feral rat outbreak.
Oh no.
Fucking tiny 28 days later.
Oh no.
No ankle will be safe.
Oh god.
They're bringing rabies into Zootopia.
Oh god. Oh god, no, rabies would be worse.
This is the worst.
Feral is just angry. Rabies is fucking go insane and die.
Yeah.
And then make everyone else around you go insane and die.
I mean, that would be the true zombie outbreak.
That would
Yeah.
be...
Yeah.
God damn, that's dark for this.
I don't think we're going there.
Hopefully.
I hope we're not going there.
I don't want to go there.
Hopefully.
The only person supposed to be going to dark places is me.
Because you're the friend and therefore the most dangerous fucking playbook.
Yes.
Yeah, nonetheless I had fun.
Yeah.
One thought that I have is that like just preference wise, wording. Like I know why because you have the Vizier's notes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the why to be like, yeah, this is basically our Nort stuff. But I don't know, like that takes me out of it a little bit, pointing that out.
Sorry.
I think it was.
I think what Nate's trying to say is he wants just to not know that these are our Nort stuff, but we just keep finding these different journal entries in each of the worlds we go to, and we'll
Yeah,
figure that out on our own.
yeah, and like
He'd be more happy if we didn't like inherently know whose notes they are.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not Xehanorts, but like, I'm just saying you were going to keep finding.
Well, no, I know,
Which-
but I mean, like,
No, I get
like-
it. I should have held that back.
from like a meta narrative standpoint, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should have held that back.
I think that you needed to maybe tell us that this didn't pertain to our particular case in a less obvious way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because see, that was the worry, because like other group was like, what is this? And stuck on it for a little bit. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll can the recording here.
All right, sounds good.
This has been good.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
myself.
I